All right, man, we back. Mercy Sports Talk, we in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Share the video. And the Lions are or could get back 3 players off the IR and one off suspension. 2 off IR, 1 off suspension. Jayron Kearse, he serves his 3-game suspension for the NFL. Mike Ford and Bo Scarbrough are also eligible to come off the temporary IR list. Usually, I think is you got to be on the IR list for 7-8 weeks. With the pandemic, now I guess where they changed the rules, it's 3 weeks. You go on temporary IR. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, and obviously they got to cut people. But first, before Bo and Mike Ford can come off the injured reserve list, they have to pass a physical and be cleared by doctor. So there's no guarantee that they'll be eligible to play Sunday. Okay, and the impact of Bo Scarbrough coming back. Then you're really looking at somebody got to go off the offense. And to be honest, I've been getting a lot of negativity from Jamal Agnew, but it's going to take some time for him to fit into the offense. The return game ain't been too good. So really you're looking at a situation, are they going to cut Ty Johnson? You probably think they keep an offensive. Ty Johnson only guy I can think of they can cut. All right, so you're probably looking at a situation where either Obashe is going to get cut because they did bring him back. So I see a situation, or Obashe, whatever the guard's name is. Because now what they have done, they have kept Terrell Crosby at right tackle, Jonah Jackson at left guard. They put Big V at right guard, and center is Ragnow, and left tackle is Taylor Decker. So it's a situation where, they didn't use Ty Johnson. He was a healthy scratch, so Ty Johnson probably going to get cut, I believe, to make room for Bo Scarbrough. But he got to be healthy first, and what Bo brings to the game is a guy that's going to hit the hole hard. He got some athleticism. He give you that power back. So, basically you got the 2 power backs with Peterson and Bo now. And then you got the 2 shifty back, the shifty back and Swift in the middle road and Kerryon Johnson. I think it might be a chance that you might see Kerryon Johnson cut at some point. Maybe not this year, but after the season. He only got 3 carries Sunday versus the Cardinals, but he did look a little bit more explosive. So maybe he's dealing with a nagging injury. He ain't been 100% yet. But they can't ride the Adrian Peterson wave for 16 weeks in this National Football League. So I do think you got Bowen here. And remember, Swift didn't get a carry yet last week. So, the Saints probably going to break down film and know when Swift in the game, he probably coming out to catch the ball out the backfield. So, to be honest, if they really phasing out Kerryon Johnson or giving him a rest, I think you need to phase in DeAndre Swift. I think Swift need to get some of those carries too. At some point you brought him in with the 2nd round draft pick. He just can't be no extra receiver. He got to get out there and run the ball. He's a running back. So, Bo is probably going to eat some carries up. But to be honest, I think it's time to kind of phase Peterson. As Peterson kind of need a break, I think it's time to phase in DeAndre Swift. You know what I'm saying? And as Peterson kind of needs some time off, then you bring in Bo. But at this point, it gotta be Swift, gotta be the guy at some point to really take over the backfield. But Bo can be a short yardage guy. The running back committee doesn't work for the running backs that they have. Bo is a guy that need the ball to get better and better in rhythm. We seen that last year. Peterson is a guy that need the ball to get better and better in rhythm. And also Kerryon Johnson, that type of guy. So they don't have the ideal backs for running back by committee. And I think Swift is one of those guys who could do it by committee, but I think it's time for them to let him run the ball more. This is the 2nd running back you drafted that you got on the pitch count. At some point, he got to be the guy, so why not right now? But then again, I understand he might not know how to block an assignment, so that's got to come down the line this season. That Swift got to be able to get the carries. But with Bo back, that's good. And then you go to, who else we say? Mike Ford coming back. That's a positive. People want to know what Mike Ford bump Jeff Okudah. Only person that can bump Jeff Okudah is going to be Desmond Trufant. But Mike Ford can probably get in there and tap in for Darryl Roberts and cover some of that nickel. But to be honest, you leave Trufant out there. He got to learn by fire. I mean, he had a murderous row of receivers. He done guarded Adams. This past week, DeAndre Hopkins. And then this week you got if Michael Thomas is healthy. So, in my opinion, is he learning by fire with no training camp? No real training camp, no real joint practices, no real preseason, no mini camps, OTAs. So Mike Ford is good help though. So if Jeff Okudah truly struggling, You can't put Mike Ford in there. He can alleviate the pain, but once again, he has to clear the physical and all of that stuff. So people probably asking about Justin Coleman. He went on the IR week 2, so he eligible to come back, I believe, next week, and that's a bye. So you won't see him until week 7 in the NFL season. So it is what it is for him. But also you looking at Jayron Kearse, who coming off a suspension. I forget what the suspension was. Was it a substance abuse or something of that nature? Allegedly, I don't really remember what it was. But to be honest, he may bump Miles Killebrew off the roster. If Mike Ford come back, you're probably looking at Miles Killebrew getting cut. You're probably looking at cornerback Chris Jones getting cut as well too. So with Mike Ford coming back, he's making it. I mean, with Mike Ford and Jayron Kearse coming back, they got to cut 2 defenders off the roster. So probably Chris Jones, Miles Killebrew, and also you're going to see a situation in where you probably see less of Will Harris. Jayron Kearse is probably going to be that extra safety to come in there and be in the box. So Jayron Kearse is probably coming to take Will Harris playing time. And obviously Will Harris had those penalties in Green Bay. Some people say they was questionable. I was listening to it on radio at that point, and I came back and watched. Had to make a quick trip. So, personally, Killebrew need to go. He ain't fit in at the safety position. He ain't fit in at the linebacker position. I know he probably is a nice stand-up guy, but he got to go. And don't forget, Jared Davis was only subjected to 15 snaps this weekend versus the Cardinals. So at that point, he may be a candidate to get cut too. Hate to say it. Now that's the value job to lose. But other than that, you got Kearse coming in. He probably going to take some time for Will Harris. Tracy Walker played the whole game last game, and that's what you got to do. He wasn't playing the entire game. So, Matt Patricia and Corey usually made that adjustment. But yeah, I see a situation where these guys come back. How much do they help? Bo helps a lot in the short yardage game, and if a running back go down. But I think who got the best impact here is probably going to be that Kearse guy. They brought him here for a reason. They like his skill set to play in the box. I think he can make a difference. And then, after the bye, we get probably Justin Coleman back, and that's going to make a huge difference. So the Lions starting to get healthy. Big V came back. They slid him to right guard. It'll be interesting once Dale come back, what they do. I think the line is how it's supposed to be. Crosby at right, Hightie at left guard, right guard, Ragnow as center, and Jonah Jackson at left guard and Taylor Decker at left tackle. And also Frank Ragnow was rated the second best center in the National Football League. So, that turned out to be a great pick. I remember I called him Frank what the fuck, but when I learned that he hadn't gave up a sack in his college career, and he's really translated well. So that's probably Bob Quinn's shining pick in the first round, in my opinion, right now. But hey, let me know what you guys think about the video. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, $CJGood313. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate personally is to share the video and check my other channel out right here on YouTube for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. That's Goodfellas Sports TV. One time for the one time. We go.